So Reusing the City is a social enterprise that is mapping underused and vacant spaces in towns and cities in order to get an overall picture of the extent of the underuse of a city, to see how efficiently, how inefficiently a city or a town is used, and to put that information out to the public so that citizens can discover the information, share the information, and add to the information.
Reusing the City addresses two main sustainability issues. One is the reuse of space in cities. There's a huge demand in many European cities for space from a range of different groups, from community groups to charities to those who are looking for sites for urban agriculture. Yet these spaces are not available for groups. They cannot access them and they don't know how to access them. So Reusing the City breaks down that barrier between finding out where these spaces are and how to reuse them. Reusing the City also addresses the kind of issue of urban sprawl. As our cities expand out, we are neglecting our urban core, such that we've made huge sites in the city centres of many of our European cities are just not used at all and are being neglected, and people are turning their backs on them. So we see Reusing the City as addressing two of those problems.
We would have identified three main user groups: local authorities, who need to use this app to overcome the major challenges of trying to map underused space, which is the fluidity of the data in that it changes all the time, the scale of the data in that you need huge resources to try and map where these spaces are, and also the accessibility of the data in that it's very difficult to find out what space is vacant. It may not be obvious, it may be hidden. And then also communities use Reusing the City in that it's an opportunity, it gives them a platform to engage with space in the city and to engage with the local authority. And we are finding that citizens are really engaged on the subject of underused spaces. Reusing Dublin evolves around a map of underused spaces that is online. And so it's in a website that allows people to discover and share information about underused spaces, but it also allows them to identify underused spaces in the city. And crucially, it allows people to connect with one another. So we have three aspects to the project, to the initiative. There's the website with the map on it. There's a mobile app, so people can just simply take photographs of a space and it automatically goes onto the website. So it becomes very easy for people to crowdsource this information. And then we also have the social media. So there's a lot of activity in social media where people interact with us, they engage with us on the issue of underused spaces. Reusing the City is being piloted in Dublin, in Ireland. It was launched in April 2015, and we have a website that is called Reusing Dublin, and it's become basically a civic engagement initiative. We've been working in partnership with UCD, the university, and also with Dublin City Council.
It started out as a very small case study area, and we quickly realised there was a huge demand in Dublin for this type of service. So through three main social media means, through Facebook, through Twitter and through Instagram, we grew a community of interest around Reusing Dublin, and from there we have had people crowdsource and add vacant spaces to the website, and they've also sent us in through these different channels. So it's been growing in interest over the last 6 months now, and we've had people now contact us looking for spaces, so using us as the in-between guy, saying we're a charity, we're looking for a space in Dublin to grow vegetables, or we're a community group and we're looking for a space for an art project. So that's how it started to grow now over the last 6 months.
We believe that it is absolutely transferable to almost any town, city or region in Europe, because the issues that we are dealing with in Dublin are common to the entire continent. In every city, in every town, you have underused space, you have vacant sites, and nobody knows exactly where they are, how big they are, and how to do something about them. How do you start to engage with the owners, or how do you start to understand those spaces? So we're very interested in gathering more partners across Europe who are interested in taking this further in a further European research project to understand the differences between the different cities whenever you use Reusing the City as an application, as a website, as a mobile phone app and the social media. So you can localize it in different cities and start to understand the different nuances around data protection, around regulation, but also around how citizens engage on these different media platforms. Because ultimately the powerful thing about Reusing the City is that it's a means for citizens to engage with space and to engage with planning. And what we're finding in Dublin is that the planners and the local authority are very interested in the amount of interest and engagement that we are achieving with Reusing Dublin. And that can be achieved anywhere in Europe.